Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming.
Longer waiting for when. We're winning.
We're winning? All right. Cool. Well, I'm facing you. I have no idea if it's on or not.
It's something's happening.
Are the wiggles wiggling?
They are wiggly woo.
Hello and welcome. You are listening to Thoughtless Casual Gaming with Brett and Jace. We are doing a couple of things differently today. First of all...
I'm wearing pants.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's disappointing. It has been a little while between drinks, and that is a lot to do with me. I apologize for that, but that's not something for this podcast. That's for something else. We are here in person. That's different.
I mean, we're not in here in person with you. We get that. You're listening to this via the medium of the internet.
I'm standing behind you. But we're in person with each other.
Oh, it's bizarre.
I know, it's weird. I have to look at you. It's freaking me out.
Well, I mean, I usually turn the video on, but I assume you just don't look.
I see the pants listeners. But we have an event coming up. Thoughtless Bowl 3, November the 12th at Throw the Dice. And we're just a little bit excited.
I am lucky I'm wearing pants. That's all I'm saying.
The pants are full. So we thought we'd take this opportunity just to go through the players pack for those of you that might not be coming, might not have an opportunity to see the craziness that we have planned, because this is definitely going to be something different.
Also, probably for those that have signed up and haven't read the players pack, which from my experience running tournaments is every player.
It's coming up in a couple of weeks, November the 12th. Like I said, we have 30 spots available at the moment. At the time of recording, there's just 6 spots left. And 2 of those are very hesitantly, I'm awaiting payment. So there may only be 4 spots left by the time you hear this. There may be less.
There's likely less.
Likely less.
Unless you are one of the people that filled that spot, in which case you don't mind.
Yeah, go you. So if you are keen, jump in this quickly, because this event looks like it's going to fill up. This is going to be our biggest one, and I think for good reason.
Yeah.
Going through this players pack, it's a good reason.
I'm still not sure exactly how this is. I am more excited about this event than any of the others that we've run, just because this leans into what I believe is the essence of Blood Bowl.
The others will win shit. This one will be the best.
I mean, we set the bar low. That's basically how this works, right?
That's what we do in general, though. Anyway, so let's just go through it quickly. This is a Blood Bowl 7s event. So Blood Bowl 7s is a format that embraces the chaos and throws caution to Nuffle's excessive wind. For Thoughtless Bowl 3, we want to embrace that chaos, and rather than create another small format that tries to be competitive and balanced, we decided we don't want a fast version of Blood Bowl 11's tournament. Instead, we have tried to keep the day focused on what makes 7s great and unique. And it is just fun, quick, crazy games.
Yeah, it is really leaning into, I think half the joy of 7s is mistakes happen more frequently and you don't get to correct them. There's no go back and redo. There's no re-roll the same way that you would get in 11s, and it means that every single dice roll is important. It means every time you roll the dice, like the odds of something not working are just higher. And as I said to somebody today, bum puckering Blood Bowl is my favorite form of Blood Bowl. Like when you're sweating about, I need this dice to work and I need that dice to work. That's the tense I want in a game, and that's exactly what 7s gives you.
Look, take that how you may, and that's up to you, dear listener. But we here at Thoughtless Casual, we like the butt stuff. So
There's a reason that they put the spot there. Anyway.
All right, so we have, and this is probably the important thing to note, and probably the thing that we will teach you the least about right now.
Yes.
But this is going to be a bit of a crazy event. So we have 4 rounds in the day. Each round will have its own special rule in play, and those are going to be revealed on the day. You won't find out beforehand. You won't have any idea until you sit down for that round what is about to happen. So they'll add even greater levels of random chaos. They will be lighthearted, fun, and probably affect overall results. Hopefully, they will result in a dead gunner runner or two. We're not going to tell you what they are, but please come expecting for the game to screw you just a little bit harder than usual. We have thrown ideas at each other about what to do for these rounds, and I think we've come up with 4 crazy ideas.
Yeah. It's one of those, though. One of the people who introduced me to Blood Bowl said one of the joys of Blood Bowl is you get to play against 2 opponents. Yep. You get to play against the person sitting opposite side, and you get to play against the game of Blood Bowl, and both try to screw you. And we've just turned that up to 11 a little bit.
You're going to be playing against Blood Bowl. You're going to be playing against your opponent. You're going to be playing against us.
Fortunately, we're not very good, so
we're just making this stuff up as we go along. The other thing that makes this event different to any other that we've run, definitely, and possibly different to any other that you've been to, is that we're not going to have prizes for first, second, and third. We're challenging you to compete for the far more interesting and fun side quests. So there will be prizes for the following. Master Builder. That is the most creative team list as judged by Jason and I.
So we're going to get together after we get all your lists in a week or so, and we're going to go through them. And basically the one that gives us the giggles the most
is the one.
So do cool shit. Don't just take block on things.
Have some fun with it. This is going to be a fun day, so take a fun team.
Yeah, and I feel like the rest of these side quests kind of give you direction for this.
Yeah. Second one, Fallatio. So the most successful fouls in a day. Nice and simple. After that, Surfs Up, the most crowd surfs.
Yeah. Now, I have had questions as to what constitutes a crowd surf. So for those playing at home that haven't experienced this before, this is where you push a player off the pitch into the crowd.
And then the crowd randomly beats the crap out of them.
So commit murder by crowd is the moral of the story here.
P's get degrees. So most successful passes. Fairly straightforward. There's the nothing special prize, so right in the middle of the pack.
Yep. Literally achieve nothing of worth
Yep.
in your life or the tournament.
You haven't done it yet, so why start? Lowballing, the best stunty team. This is probably the one that gets the most questions, isn't it?
Yes. So, I mean, this is also probably the only one that really encourages Blood Bowl, but it encourages Blood Bowl with a very hefty handicap.
Yes. So it's the first place stunty team. So the one that comes higher than all the others, and stunty being obviously the little guys.
Yeah. So we'll go through what constitutes stunty a bit later, but you get the idea.
Yep. Knee pads, most awesome opponent as voted by your peers. And then stock standard TCG, coolest team as voted by your peers. So instead of having prizes for first, second, and third, we have got 8 prizes. And by all means, if you're coming, theme your team towards one or more of those.
And look, I fully expect that some people will just show up with the team they want to play and play some Blood Bowl. And that's cool. Like, we're still going to draw the rounds the way that we would at a normal tournament. So the people who win games will be playing other people that win games, and it should still level itself out there. But you get your choice. Yeah. How you want to play this.
Because these are all different to how you would usually play, the tiebreaker for all of these prizes is going to be the most touchdowns scored. So there is still, while you're crowd surfing, while you're passing the ball, while you're fouling everybody under the sun, there has to be still a focus on touchdowns. Because if you end up with the same amount of fouls as somebody else and they've scored more touchdowns than you, they're going to get the prize. The only one which does not take that into account is knee pads, which is your most awesome opponent as voted by your peers, which is the lowest placed player. Because, as we've said before, so much harder to be the best opponent for the day if you're losing games.
I'm a sunny, cheery jerk when I'm winning, but the salt starts to come out when you lose games sometimes. It's a little bit trickier.
It's all fun and games. We're having fun here. So the other thing that we've thrown in, which is a bit out of the ordinary, is what we're calling the golden reroll. So every player is going to have one golden reroll for the day. And that is, once over the 4 games, a player can call for their golden reroll. So if I was calling one of us, we will run over to you with a fancy gold dice. They are in my hands right now, and they are beautiful.
So pretty.
It's a golden D6. You can use the golden reroll to reroll any single D6 dice. So you cannot reroll a reroll as per normal. So if you fail a dodge, you can't try that dodge again. You cannot use it for block dice. It's a D6. Doesn't have blocks on it. I mean,
yeah, it means nothing to the blocks. It is a D6.
Yeah.
It has the numbers 1 through to 5, and then a pretty picture for the 6.
Yeah. You only get the 1. So once you have called for your golden D6, that is it. No more rerolls. But that can be used, like we said, to reroll any single D6 dice. So if you're rolling and you really need to get some guy off the pitch and you roll a 6 and a 1, call for your golden reroll. Reroll that 1.
Yeah, so things that wouldn't normally be rerollable.
Yes.
Armor. Sure.
Why not? Any D6 that you roll that you want to re-roll, you can use this dice for.
Hell, the armor roll for a foul because you're one behind the other person gunning for that prize.
That's it.
There's options, but I suppose the caveat here is we're going to have a big bag of dice, and you don't get them until you tell us you want them, because I want to see every single one of these rolls.
We are going to be watching
every single time
fun.
Somebody fails a go for it into the end zone and wants to re-roll it. I want to watch that second one come up.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's the out of the ordinary stuff that we can tell you right now.
Yeah.
There is more to come.
Be warned, not informed is the moral of the story.
Now for the basics. So 4 games of Blood Bowl. 7s, rather. I shouldn't stop after Blood Bowl. 4 games of Blood Bowl 7s. Saturday, November the 12th. It is at Throw the Dice in Herne Hill. And it is $25 cost. The bank details are on the player's pack. So if you are wanting a ticket, get in quick. Like we said, only a handful left. You need to bring your team with positions and skills clearly marked. So that's your models, that's you guys that you're using. You need to bring your team roster. Bring dice. So 3 block dice, 2d6, 1d8.
That's probably the important stuff covered. Yeah,
we've got 1d16 in there, but they're not used an awful lot, especially in 7s. You can bring scatter, pass, throw in templates. There will be some around, but probably a good idea to have your own there too. It's going to be a resurrection format. So after each game, same as the last couple of tournaments we've done, each game your team resets. So there's no advancements, no injuries, no deaths. If you get annihilated in game 1, all of your guys get magically brought back to life by the magic sponge from the apothecary's daughter, or whatever, however you want to throw it. They are all back for game 2.
The apothecary's daughter.
I don't know.
Right.
Just,
I want to meet this daughter and her magic sponge.
the apothecaries are generally useless in Blood Bowl, so maybe the daughter's better.
Especially in 7s. They're stupid in 7s, but anyway.
So basically, the roster that you send in to us will be the team that you start with for each game. Seems appropriate.
If you haven't worked out how this works by now, we are no help to you.
We're no help anyway,
I
but
mean,
that's fine.
agreed, but
So the schedule, 10 o'clock registration. If you try and get there on time, please.
in fact, don't even try. Just get there on time.
Especially
Dylan.
if you live around the corner. Don't be the last one there. 10:15, game 1 kicks off. And these games are 75 minutes each. There's a lot going on, and we will be sticking to time. So make sure that you are getting as much, if not all of your game in that time. This is really important because you obviously don't want to lose chances for those fouls, for those passes, for all of that sort of stuff. 11:45, game 2. And then from 1 till 2 is lunch. There are things available at Throw the Dice. There are also shops within distance. There is Uber Eats. There's all that sort of stuff. Good idea just to have a think before you get there about what you want to do for lunch so that you've got a plan when your lunch kicks in.
Yeah.
2 o'clock, game 3. 3:30, game 4. And then at 5 o'clock, we've got the presentations and the awards.
Yeah. So look, you're still home for dinner is the moral of the story.
Yeah.
You've rocked up at a perfectly reasonable time. None of this, 7 a.m. registration bullshit.
No.
And you played 4 games of 7s, and you're home for dinner. This is glorious.
It's like the perfect day.
Everything I need in life.
So, your team. Teams must be chosen using the current Games Workshop rosters, including Teams of Legend. So these are, when we say Teams of Legend, these are the teams that they have not done new rules for. If you're thinking Norse, if you're thinking Amazons, we're using new rules for those.
Yeah, we're not using the old Norse or Amazon. So if they have been redone, we're using the new ones. But this means that if you really want to play Tomb Kings, you can play Tomb Kings.
Yeah.
And I apologise to you and your opponents.
Starting treasury will vary depending on which team you take. So more on that later. The teams will have between 7 and 11 players.
The next person to get pedantic with my players pack gets a slap.
The teams are between 7 to 11 players. No more than 7. Sorry, no less than 7, no more than 11. Fucked that up, didn't I? Anyway.
No one's listening.
That's right. Maximum of 4 non-lineman positional players. These are all stock standard 7s rules. Rerolls cost double the regular cost and include any inducements and extra skills in your team roster. There's an email address there to send through your roster by the 5th of November. So that's not too far away.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you're thinking about what you want to play, how you want to play it, that sort of thing. Skills. Players can buy primary skills at a cost of 20,000 each. One player per team can buy a secondary skill at the cost of 50,000. Only one skill can be purchased per player. So there's no stacking on skills and making an uber star player out of your werewolf or whatever. No duplicate skills can be taken. So that means you cannot buy block for every person that you have on the line.
That's it. You get 1 block. You get 1 dodge.
Yeah.
You get 1 guard.
And remember, there's an award for the team that gives us the giggles.
Yeah.
Block doesn't give us giggles.
Be better.
The following skills cannot be taken at all. So we have ruled out leader, we have ruled out pro.
And
So,
frankly, if you're taking rerolls, you're doing it wrong.
well, you're taking the golden reroll. That's what you're doing.
That's what. Yeah,
That's
we're
the
giving
right
that to
way.
you. You're not taking it. We're giving that to you. But I mean, if you're buying rerolls, what game are you playing?
You're not playing real sevens. Real sevens players play without rerolls. Inducements. So all inducements must be included on your roster. Any remaining gold from your starting TV that you have not spent will be lost and won't affect your team value because there's going to be no inducements on the day depending on who you're playing. It's everyone's got the amount of money to spend. That's your team. And if you are buying inducements, you get the same ones every game.
Correct.
If you take a Desperate Measures, for example, you get a Desperate Measures every game. You roll on that Desperate Measures table once per game. You don't get the same one each game, but
That's what you get. You don't get to choose something else next game because you're playing someone different.
no. There's a list in the players pack of all the inducements that you can take.
It does include a couple that haven't been done at previous events. So the ones I would call out are the Death Zone Mercenaries. So this is kind of the build your own merc options with the restriction of 1 per team. So look, we're throwing them out there. You're already doing crazy shit with your roster. You're probably going to have, if my sevens games or anything to go by, potentially some coin to spend and maybe not a lot of options to spend it on. So give it a crack. They're expensive. They add up real quick. And then the other one I really want to talk about is we're opening it up to Mercenary Giants. You can buy a Mercenary Giant. He's expensive.
I expect to see the appropriate size model.
They're absolutely, and I will be damned if I do not see a Mercenary Giant at least once.
The rules for the Giants, they're in
Death Zone.
Yeah. And going back to the mercenary players, standard 1 skill per mercenary.
The kicker with the skills on the mercenary is if you take a skill on a mercenary, because the trait packages can give you more than one, but you can't double up skills with any other player on your team. So you can build your own mercenary, you can make a bit of a superstar, he costs a fortune, but you can't take a skill that you have on any other player in your team.
Seems fair. So, starting treasury, how much you got to spend?
Shit tons.
Heaps and heaps and heaps. All right. So, tier 1 teams. And pretty much, I'm not going to run through.
It's all the good ones.
It's all the ones in there. It's all in the players pack. You should read the players pack.
It's all the tier 1 teams and Necromantic Horror.
Yeah. Thanks, Tim. Tim keeps winning with Necromantic. We put them in tier 1. So your starting treasury for tier 1 is 640,000.
Yeah. So for those playing at home, that is 2 primary skills.
Plus your standard
600.
Yeah. For tier 2, 670. So get an extra 30 if you're going tier 2.
You can throw a primary as a secondary in there if you really want.
Yep.
You can do all kinds of stuff. And look, we're not saying that you can take your 600 team and then these skills. You can spend that cash how you want. So if you want to take less in players and buy less positionals and skill up some dudes, do what you want.
Yeah. It's up to you.
I'm not your mother.
I might be. For tier 3. So all the stunty teams generally, 700,000.
So much money.
More money to spend on guys that don't cost much.
Yeah. Remember, you have to take 7 players, people.
Yes. Now, stunty teams. So we've gone a bit crazy with the stunty teams.
Look, we've got best stunty in there as a prize, so what we wanted to do is open this up to some options.
Yeah. So for Thoughtless Bowl 3, a stunty team is goblins.
Makes sense. That's
Halflings.
currently what they do. Also true.
Snotlings.
Also stunty.
Ogres, but with a limit of 0 to 2 ogres.
Yeah. You take more ogres, you can lose the stunties, but you get more ogres. So, it's a win-win.
Yeah. Lizardmen with no Soros.
You still get a Crocs.
Crocs and skinks. Underworlds with no Skaven players.
That's a legit.
It's kind of like goblins, isn't it?
It's basically goblins with snotlings. You could take snotling positionals and then you could swarm them.
Ah, there we go. Black Orcs with no Black Orcs.
It's a troll and goblins.
And Orcs with no Orc or
So
Dragon players.
This is the one. Yeah, look, I got a little bit excited and didn't really proofread it. However, I will stand by this because the question was asked: how do you get orcs without orc linemen? And to be fair, I'm pretty sure on Blood Bowl roster, when I looked at it, the position was goblin lineman. It is not actually the lineman option for the team, but it's what they were named. But I am more than happy.
It's 0-1 though.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
But I am more than happy to swap the lineman on an orc team to the goblin. So you can take a troll and goblins.
It's kind of like Underworlds, isn't it?
Basically Underworlds, right? And you know what? You don't get any of the fun goblin secret weapons. But if that's what you really want to do, if you want to take an orc roster and a troll and a bunch of goblins, who am I to stop you?
I still think you should take goblins.
I mean, that's correct. In the same way, if you were playing Black Orcs without Black Orcs, probably just play goblins. Mm-hmm. But if you want Thick Skull, I will not stand in your way.
All right, fair enough. Also, to be considered a stunty team, you cannot take a mercenary that is not a stunty.
Yeah. The good news here is you can give a stunty a chainsaw. So, who's the winner here? You can give a stunty player a ball and chain. You can. There are so many options. It's glorious.
Yes. All right, just a couple of other things. So, painting. You don't have to have your models painted.
But just do it. There's 7 bloody models.
Yeah. On the back of that, Jace's, if you've paid attention to the Facebook group or the Discord, Jace is painting up a very pretty, I'm looking at it right now, very pretty necromantic team. And I said to him, I think the first thing I said to him was, that's more than 7 players, but there's a Skaven zombie and a dwarf zombie.
The little dwarf one is glorious. The orc is good. Yeah. They're so pretty. So for anyone playing at home, it is the Brute Fun necromantic team. I put together a roster basically with each one of the positionals and then just filled it with zombies because there is a zombie for every race, basically. They're gorgeous models. So I'm currently painting those.
And why are you painting them?
Because I'm a sadist.
Why are you painting checks? That's the thing.
I had an idea and it was a silly one, but now I'm invested. So anywho, so we're painting them. And then the idea with this team is that somebody who shows up to Thoughtless Bowl 3 on the day and actually plays their games, all 4 of their games, in fact. I'm adding caveats as we go along. Is going to walk away with this team. So we're going to do it as a random lucky door prize. Mm-hmm. So everyone has a chance of winning. There's no, it's not going to whoever comes first or anything like that. The second piece of that, so everybody's going to get an entry into it if you show up and you play games. If you also go to the effort of painting a team specifically for this, so if this is the first time that your team shows up at an event, you're all pretty and painted and all that jazz, then we'll give you another entry into it.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to see people painting shit, really. So to be considered, look, just throw a photo somewhere, Discord, Facebook. I don't particularly picky. Facebook's probably the easiest. In the event, and show us it not painted, and then show up on the day with it painted, and we'll give you another entry.
Done. Too easy, and they are beautiful. They are looking so good. Are they finished?
No.
Oh, good.
I've just
realised.
Would
be finished for me.
I've just realised how much time I have left, and I'm like, better get on that.
So yes, if you are thinking of bringing a new team, there's a great motivation for painting one up. Pairing. So round 1 will be completely random.
Ish.
Or if you have someone you really want to play in a grudge match, we will honour that.
Yeah.
After that, all other rounds will be paired according to the results. Now, we are scoring this as per the usual scoring.
Yeah. So if you win, you get points. If you lose, you get none. If you draw, you get some. That's that. So the moral of the story is we are scoring this like a regular tournament, but we are not giving out prizes for the people who do the best winnings. Unless the winnings is including all of the fouls. Or the crowd surfs and this kind of stuff. And this is just so people over the course of the day level out and play people of a similar skill set or competitive mindedness or however this luckiness, just so games end up being a little bit sort of more balanced, hopefully, as the day progresses.
Yeah. So, as per normal, win will get you 20 points, draw will get you 10, loss gets you nothing. Touchdowns and casualties, you get 1 of each of those, up to a maximum of 3 per game. So you can have 3 for, if you win 3-0, there's an extra 3 points for touchdowns. If you get 3 casualties, there's an extra 3 points for casualties. Perfect defense, so if your opponent doesn't score, extra 1 point. If you get the score sheet in on time, extra 1 point. That's simple.
But it's that easy. And look, as I said, the overall results don't actually matter. Still get your bloody score sheet in on time. We'll make it super obvious how much time you've got left. Mm-hmm. We will do everything we can to make sure that you know how much time you've got left. And I fully expect players to stop playing when we've run out of time.
Yeah. The coolest team. So during lunch, we'll ask every player to set up their team on display. Players will then vote for the coolest team. So what makes the team the coolest? It's up to you.
I don't care.
Doesn't have to be paint job. It can be models. It can be the idea. It can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. The whole idea is we're not doing a best painted. We're not doing a thing. It is what gets your rocks hot. Like what tickles your pickle. And it could be, as simple as, this guy has a really cool theme. It's a cool. I haven't seen these models before. I really love what he's done with the roster. Oh my god, this idiot took an orc team and only goblins.
Or a Norse team with 2 beer boars.
There is. I mean, not less so in a tournament, I suppose. Yeah, they're 2 positions. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. In fact,
it could be cool though.
A beer ball 0 to 2.
Yes.
No. So I can't take 4?
No, you can't take
Disappointing. 4. Would we allow that? I think we would.
Are you thinking of another stunty team now?
An all beer ball Norse team. Yeti and beer ballers. You know what? I'd allow it.
And best opponents. So after your last game, all players will be asked to vote for their favourite opponent of the day. And this is, in the case of a tie, the lowest placed player will win, as we've said. That's pretty much it.
That is the nuts and bolts of the day. We are really hoping that it is going to be a super chill day of just playing some Blood Bowl, watching stupid shit happen, giggling your ass off in a really cool, we've basically got the store to ourselves. We're going to take up all of the room. The store is still going to be open, but we're going to take up all of the room. It's a really cool bunch of guys and gals that have come along to play. So it should just be appropriately chilled. Yeah. This is, I will apologize in advance if you come looking for hardcore Blood Bowl to the death.
No, this is definitely not hardcore.
It might be to the death, but it's not hardcore Blood Bowl.
We have run normal 7s tournaments. We've had a couple this year. This will be our 4th 7th tournament, even though it's Thoughtless Bowl 3. But they've all been stock standard. This is craziness and something stupid to kick out the year with. Yeah, we'll return to our regular broadcasting
Same bad time.
next year. But for this one, we want to have a bit of fun, and we want you to as well. There are, like I said, there's only a couple of tickets left, but the people that have signed up, there's all ranges of Blood Bowl skill there.
Yeah, I have never played this on the tabletop before. I've played a few games and had some demos, and I can muddle my way through a game. I've started my first league, and I won the largest Australian tournament this year.
Yeah.
So, there is the full spectrum.
Yes. But we're just going to have fun. That's the aim. And we want everybody to have fun. So it's going to be lighthearted. It's going to be fun. And, the idea is to have shits and giggles with your opponent. And at the end of the day, it's not even about winning and losing in this one.
Nah, it's about doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
I have been, and I know that I feel like, given that we're not looking at winning and there's a whole bunch of other things you can aim for, what it does, or what it's done to me, is break my brain to looking at roster options to do specific things and just try shit where the result doesn't actually matter.
I'm sure there's going to be like a corn-on-corn game where everybody's trying to crowd surf each other. And
legitimately, that corn roster I almost love. Like, I was playing with that. I played a game using corn, but not the roster I was thinking of last night. And I'd forgotten how much fun they were. And then I'm like, but wait, I can have an entire frenzy team.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best thing in the world.
Look, I'm sure it's going to happen. There's going to be corn-on-corn action, and there's going to be frenzy on both sides.
Yeah. And I want to see like two stunty teams just packed out with players trying to foul the shit out of each other.
I want to see a stunty team trying to pass the ball.
I also want to see that. That'd be glorious.
Play the game how you want to play, how you think you're going to have the most fun out of the day, and
you'll probably hit somebody doing the same.
Yeah.
I am going to giggle my ass off basically the entire day, and that's very much the aim of what we're going for here.
But that's it from us. If you have any questions, there's an email address in the players pack. You can join our Discord. There's a lot of chat going on in there about this event and the current league and all sorts of stuff going there. Chuck a question in the Facebook event.
Yeah. I mean, I should do an FAQ at some point just to clear up some of the few little things that people have asked along the way. Mm-hmm. I might do a bit of a team roster template just so people have got something to use if they don't have something else they'd rather. There is no format we're saying that you need to put your roster in, but it might be useful. Yeah. So we'll do a few things like that leading up to. It'll all be in the Facebook event, which is the easiest way to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's it. Like I said, I mean, if you're not in the Discord, jump in the Discord because there's so much going on there, which is great. Full of cool people. And us.
Yeah. We've really just kind of dragging the standard down. But I am having too much fun to remove myself.
You can obviously listen to us on whatever you're finding this now. If you want to help support us as well, we do Patreon-only giveaways every month, and all that money from the Patreons goes into prizes for giveaways. We have something big planned, which we will reveal shortly for the next giveaway. So,
it's spicy.
Yeah.
Free subscription to the OnlyFans account.
Oh, I could probably do that. I need to put something else on the OnlyFans account. Anywho, that's it from us.
I'm sitting here thinking about what I can put on the OnlyFans account, to be fair.
Just pictures of us with our pants on. It's normal.
Fun. I'm like, what can I paint a model with?
Strategically placed dice.
We could put them on a string. Hang on.
Oh. Are we going back to the butt stuff?
Did we ever leave? That's it. Coming soon. Thoughtless Bowl 4. Butt stuff.
And done. Thanks for listening.
Gotcha.
Thoughtless, casual gaming. Thoughtless, casual gaming. Thoughtless, casual gaming. Thoughtless,